Good afternoon and welcome to the July Flower Club. It is boiling today. It's the 2 days of the year I think we've actually got our lovely British summer, so making the most of it. In this month's Flower Club bunch you have a nice bright summery selection here. I'll run through what you've got and then we will do a nice hand-tied arrangement that we can pop into this lovely vase here. So this is a vintage Wade vase with a drip, it's got a drip glaze finish, so there's lots of kind of different tones and colours in there, but it's really nice. I just like the way that it's got a lovely foot on it and a slightly fluted top, so it will help our flowers spread out a bit more. So what we've got in this month's bunch, we have some Eryngium thistle, so lovely shade of blue, really nice, had some nice texture to an arrangement. So we've got some of those. We've got some of these Limonium, so they dry really nicely. Generally, most times of the year, they smell a little bit like cat pee, to be honest with you. So just a light misting with Febreze and that will neutralise it. Now these are nice fresh ones and they actually smell really lovely, so nice pleasant smelling ones. They dry really well, so hold on to them kind of once your flowers go over because they look really nice. Just popped into a little vase or in a wreath, they work really nicely. We have some hardruscus, some foliage, and I've gone quite light on foliage this month just because we want the flowers to be kind of the stars of the show, so to speak. So we have here some lovely sunflowers. These are a variety called Sunrich Orange, and they're really nice. They last really well, and the way to tell that your sunflowers are fresh is have a look at the middle. I don't know if you can kind of see it very well on here, but we've got a darker patch here where they haven't fully opened and they're sticky, so that's how you can tell that they're really fresh. Let's have a look on this one. Yeah, you can see, so that dark patch in the middle there, that will soon open. The sticky patch obviously attracts the pollinators. So really lovely splash of summer colour. If you're local, then it's well worth going to Hitchin Lavender Farm this time of the year. They've also got sunflowers that you can cut as well. They might not be quite ready just yet, the sunflowers, but the lavender is peak right now, so it smells absolutely amazing. It's just up the road from where I live actually, so I will certainly be paying it a visit. So we've got some nice sunflowers here. We've got some lovely stocks, scented stocks. Now these, when I order them, they are, they call them red, but they're actually not. They're a lovely kind of deep pinky colour. Smell absolutely beautiful. So you've got some that are open and obviously some buds that are still to open. And again, they just kind of really smell lovely and kind of give that kind of cottage garden summery bouquet type feel. So we've got some of those as well. So what I'm going to do, so I'm going to do a hand-tied bouquet, hand spiraled bouquet that we can then pop into our vase here. So I'm going to start with one of our sunflowers in the middle, and I'm going to pop in some Limonium. So the Limonium are lovely long stems, lots of side stems. So if you're doing, for example, bud vases, just pull off some side stems, and you can do some very pretty little bud vases, or as I said earlier, you can dry it and use it that way as well. So just going to pop that in. So we want a nice straight centre to start with. I'm going to pull these off, so anything that will fall below your waterline, leaves or stems, just take those off. So we've got our straight up and down, and I've got my hand where our tying point's going to be, so kind of where your flowers will come out from, which generally tallies with the top or just below the top of your vase that you're using. So proportions, I think that's about right there. So that's your binding point, that's what you're holding. And then you place everything diagonally. So I'm right-handed, I'm holding with my left, and I'm going to take this and place it across. So lift my thumb up, place that across diagonally, pop my thumb back down, and then do a half turn. Now this is the bit where everybody gets a little bit stuck. It is a matter of practice. When I was taught it at college, it took me a while to get my head around it, but once you've got it, you've got it. So keep a hold of it. This one's diagonal, this is straight. Grab the top above where your thumb is and turn it, and then hold it again tight. So this moves over to here, and then we lay our next one across here. Lift your thumb up, place it in at a diagonal, place your thumb back down, hold at the top, turn, and then place your next one. So, and what you'll notice is as you're adding more materials in, your stems will start to spiral at the bottom. Just make sure when you turn, you keep turning it the same direction. So I'm going clockwise. If you're left-handed and are holding with your right, you might find it easier to go the other way. But literally just place and turn. I'm going to come in with some stalks now. Keep them higher because obviously you've got that lovely long set of flowers that you want to see. Same thing, literally place it across diagonally, lift your thumb up, tighten, turn. A good way of practicing this technique is actually to get some artificial flowers or some sticks or something from the garden, some branches. As I say, it is a matter of practice. Once you've got it, you've got it really. I'm just adding my ruscus in here, and then I'm going to come in with another sunflower. So you see a lovely contrast there with the yellow and the pink. And then another sunflower here, and another one here. And then we've got a couple of, I've got a couple of extra stalks here. You've got 4. So if you wanted to start off, you could have a stalk in the middle and work 3 around the outside. But I'm not going too formal with this. I want it to look relatively natural, like you've just picked them from the garden. I've got a couple of extra bits of limonium here that I'm going to come in with, just to add around the outside. And this just adds a little bit of delicacy and movement and airiness to a bouquet if you have something like this in it. It's often referred to as a filler flower, but I think that kind of devalues it a bit. It's an accent flower really. I think kind of filler flower gives the impression that it's something cheap that you're just using just to fill the bouquet out to make it look bigger, but it actually serves more of a purpose than that. So again, just coming around the outside, bringing them slightly down here just so that you've got some detail and texture around the outside of the bouquet as well. So that's our shape. I'm going to tie it off. And when I said binding point, that's what that means. That's where we tie it. If you've got a narrower vase than this, you may not need to even tie them off because you can just pop them in. But what will happen here is obviously my vase neck is bigger than this. So if I pop them in, they're just going to splay out to the sides. So I'm just going to pop some string around where the thumb was, just to hold them in place a little bit tighter. You could use string, you could use a bit of tape. Doesn't need to be anything too heavy duty. So here's my binding point. Here's the top of my vase. So I need to trim the bottoms to about here. Nice 45-degree cut. I'm going to be neat and tidy and do them over the bin. Really important when the weather is warm to make sure that you change your water regularly for your flowers, because with the warmth, bacteria builds up very quickly and will shorten the vase life of your flowers. So change your water, I would say, every couple of days really when it's like this. You'll notice if you've got a glass vase, you'll notice when the water starts going a bit cloudy and you get sort of a bit of a slimy film around the inside of your vase. Wash your vase out and wash that film off before you put more water in there, and that will help prolong the vase life of your flowers. So I've got them tied off here. Just going to drop them down a bit here, and you'll see they loosen up. They're not quite so tight, quite so tightly packed, and again that helps them makes them feel more natural and looser rather than very compact and tight together. So I'm going to pop them in the vase, see how they look. I might need to trim a little bit more off the bottoms, but let's see first. Yes, I am going to need to trim some more off. I would say kind of just trim a little bit off first, because you can always, you can always take more off if you need to. You can't obviously add it back on. So there we go. That's a bit better. I think that's nicer. So that's nice, held nicely in there. It could do with dropping out slightly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, just to show you kind of the difference, I'm going to snip my string off and put them back in, and you'll see, so that I'm holding them here. If I let them go, they fall out to the sides more. So for me, I prefer that look. It looks a little less curated, if you like. I'm just going to reposition my stock there. So again, once you've got them in your vase, just have a little look round, turn them round. You can reposition things if they look a little bit out of place. But by doing that hand side, you've got the spiral, things are being held where they need to be. And if, as I say, if you need to take them out, just take it out and reposition it. There's no problem at all with doing that until you're happy. Now with this one, I'm going to cut a little bit off of this sunflower because I want it to come slightly lower in the vase. I'm going to pop these on the counter in the shop, so I want there to be more kind of lower down interest as well. So you'll see here I've chopped that one a bit more just to bring it down so it sits lower. But I think other than that, I might chop that one down a little bit as well. So we've got interest low down as well as near the top. Maybe pop out the eryngium a little bit more. If you like the eryngium and you want to see more of them, you can just pull them up. So when you arrange in a vase, don't think, oh, that's it, they're in there, they've got to stay like that. You can tweak them. I mean, I'd be here all day tweaking. So you kind of have to know when when to stop. But I'm going to take this one down a little bit as well, this sunflower. So for me, for what I want it for display in the shop, the colour and the drawing the eye through helps if you've got your stems cut at slightly different heights. So I hope that was useful for you. Please, as always, do let me know if you've got any comments, any questions, anything that you want me to demo to you so that you know how to make, and let me know how you get on. And I shall see you again next month. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.